Hey guys, and welcome to. Ooh, let's fix that. Hey guys, and welcome to the Love Diaries. I've had to record this straight onto YouTube because I tried to do it on my phone, and for some mysterious reason, it disappeared. So here we are. I've come to do a video today based on everything that's going on today, and I really wanted to spread some information and spread some education. Now, I just did a whole 15-minute video on this, and for some reason it's disappeared and poof into thin air. But we're going to try and start again, and I'm going to try and tell you all the topics that I was basically discussing. So, it was so long, I did like a 20-minute video. So, with everything that's going on at the moment, I am all for and all in support of Black Lives Matter in terms of black people standing up and rising up for what we believe in. Black people joined with white people, joined with brown people for equality and for the human race. This is something that is needed. It's something that's been coming for a long time, and it's something that we very much deserve. However, I will not buy into the Black Lives Matter movement itself, because this is a movement that was given to us by George Soros, who wanted us to feel like we could have something, that we were supported, that we could have a voice. But guess what? Nobody's listening. It's a funded campaign. Where are the funds going? What's being done? What police are being arrested and what police are being taken off their duties and fired, etc, etc. What is actually being done with that funding? There's over £600,000 of funding for Black Lives Matter, and where is that money going? Is it going on marketing? Is it going on the fake media and the fake news? This is all a distraction. There's much more things going on. Exhibit A, Hillary Clinton is trying to pass the vaccine off and trying to get back into office to do so. Donald Trump, believe it or not, is actually trying to help us. He's actually trying to aid and push forward black people getting their place back in society, and he understands that this is a war on the human race by the 1%. If you don't know what the 1% is, there's a percentage of people in this world that run it. From the Rothschilds to Bill Gates to Hillary Clinton to George Soros, Hillary Clinton's, and all of these sort of things, all of these different rings and horrible satanic rituals. And this is the foundation upon which our system is built. So you can already start to see the flaw and the issues with that. Now, George Soros is somebody that will fund into these things and then infiltrate these riots and peaceful protests, with agents and government officials from Antifa and from, obviously, effectively his camp. Now, deep state community, if you don't know them as that. Now, deep state, which is the 1%, they obviously want a certain level of control. And by orchestrating something like a protest and turning it into a riot, will give them more of a reason to enforce martial law, curfews, military, etc, etc. Now, this is an attack on the human race. They want to control us, they want to take away our freedom, and they want to turn us against each other, so that is much easier to do. Hence, Black Lives Matter. Now, it is definitely a case of black people need to get their retribution. It is definitely a case of we will come back and take what you stole from us. It is definitely a case of you owe us a hell of a lot of money for Black Wall Street, for the pyramids, for digging up artifacts, for Africa, for everything. You owe us 100%. But first of all, we've got to save humanity. And we've got to do it pretty quickly because we're running out of time. So while I want to be at the forefront of the protests and I want to be there screaming and shouting and making up noise for our people, we have to understand that Martin Luther King preached that this should be a peaceful, non-violent protest in order for us to get our point across. However, this is not carnival. This is not street party time. This is not let's go link up with your friends, lockdown's over. Because guess what? A second round of lockdown is about to come because we've done this. Because they put this in our faces and made us angry and made us hurt and made us depressed. So we went out and did this. However, it backfired slightly because now we have more unity with a lot more white people, a lot more brown people, a lot more black people. Because ultimately this is about the human race. This is about world peace. And this is about us being under attack from the powers that be and their psycho operation for New World Order. We won't stand for it. We won't have it. We don't deserve it. And it's not going to happen. This planet is set to ascend. We're all waking up. It's time to withdraw from the matrix, and economic withdrawal from the system is the only way that we're going to do it. If you're interested in doing that and it's something that you would like to discuss further, please do message me off this just so we can have a discussion about how that's going to be done. But that is what we need to do. That's what they did before Black Wall Street happened. That's what they did with Martin Luther King. They took all of their money out of the white man's pocket, out of the system. Now, as somebody that understands exactly where we came from and that black people are the original people of the earth and that we can all be traced back to one black woman, meaning we are the original people of the earth. We're made of the carbon that comes from the sun, and we are originally made in, I'm not going to say in superior because black supremacy would be as bad as white supremacy, but we are made in a very clear image of God. And having that strength and having that kind of warrior attributes and having that powerfulness is why we get bullied and why we get oppressed. Just like in school when you get bullied if you were different or you had something that would make you shine or stand out from the rest. This is no different. We are living in a system that wants to oppress us as people. So it divides us with race. It divides us with religion. It divides us with classism. Before 9/11, they were going to push a bill called Nasara, which would have ended all kind of banking, would have ended all kind of banking slavery and banking anarchy and illegal activity, and would have cleared all our loans and debts. It would have made sure that there was no tax on essentials like food and medicine, and it would have essentially created absolute world peace. Now, this was signed into law in 2000. Why hasn't this been pushed forward? Why has nobody enforced this yet? Oh, that's right. We're still protesting and we're still rioting. And that's been induced and enforced and pushed forward by Antifa agents and people that are trying to rile you up. Police officers spraying Black Lives Matters on the wall. It's a division. It's trying to get you to turn against each other. But it's backfiring. While we're out there protesting to the government, the Queen is under house arrest and currently being researched for a lot of heinous crimes, including paedophilia and siphoning taxes, etc., etc. Just do your research. There's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. There's a lot more that is being put into place and that is trying to be fed to us than we even realize. It's time to open our eyes and look past the media and look past the newspapers and look past the bullshit and stop being sheep and actually see that actually now is not the time to be out on the street shouting and screaming. Now is the time to be looking at how we can build our own society, build our own economy, and build ourselves up as a race and as people. And build and take back our right to be equal. Now, a lot of people may hate me and may think that I have a really warped point of view with where we're going with marching and where we're going with making noise, and I don't. I completely believe that this needed to happen. Everything happens exactly as it should anyway. But we needed to make noise about who we are and what you've done to us, and the fact that it doesn't go unnoticed, and that justice will be brought, will be found, and that no justice, no peace. But real chants like no justice, no peace, and real chants that come from black people, we will rise up. Real things that come from our roots, not Black Lives Matter, not let's divide us all, not, all lives matter, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter because humanity is as it is, and beauty is skin deep, and how can you judge somebody by something as trivial as how far they've come from the sun? Now, white supremacy is over. It's about to be. But we have to look higher than Boris. We have to look higher than campaigning and giving money to an organisation where we don't even know where that money is going. And we have to look further than a staged death or staged deaths. George Floyd was a Mason. Yet we're out here saying negative affirmations like I can't breathe and justice for George Floyd when he was in on the whole thing. Now people have been getting killed and abused and locked up and treated like animals for centuries and years and years and years. This is a bigger issue than just George Floyd. This is Breonna Taylor. This is the little girl that got drowned. This is racism that's been on your brother, on your sister, on your mother, on your aunties. This is racism that's come from absolutely everywhere. And the racism that was induced and taught by the 1%. So please look at the bigger picture. Please look at the fact that they inflicted religion into this world to divide us. Religion that they built upon paedophilia, built upon satanic rituals, built upon absolute bullshit. And we spend days fighting and talking about it to the death and dedicating our lives to it. The very head of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, was a paedophile, and that's why they killed Malcolm X. Like, do your research. They've been trying to control us and they've been trying to hold us down for days, years, months, forever, and they're not going to do it anymore. Now we have to put a stop to it. Corona was a lie. Corona was to get you to fearmonger us into staying in our houses to see if you could control us. So when the artificial intelligence comes out, we just take it. No. Now it's the human race and the population against the 1%. It's the 99% against the 1%. But you have to educate yourselves and understand what's going on here. I'm going to do my best to tell as many people as I can. I'm going to do my best to push the agenda as much as I can. Economic withdrawal from the system. We need to own our own platforms. We need to own our own shops, our own banks, our own systems. We need to own our pride again. We need to love black again. We need self-love back. And unpick all the conditioning. Undo all the things they taught us to rely on. And really searching ourselves for the answers. And really searching ourselves to say, okay, this is how it's going to stop. Because if we all know, and we can all change in our subconscious what they've implanted, we can make a difference. But it has to start here first. And yes, rioting is amazing. And yes, standing up for the culture and being at the forefront is amazing. But nobody's listening. Nobody's there to take your call or to listen to what you've got to say. So we have to do it in a bigger way. We have to strategize. We have to organize. Back when MLK was around, there were strategic protests, cardboards down there. Everybody was militant. Withdrawal from the, boycotting the bus system, boycotting the white supremacists and where the money was spent. And this is where we need to take it. This is what we have to do. So you can go and protest and do all these things and then go around and spend your money in the racist shop again tomorrow and go around and give your money to the white man tomorrow. We have to think about this smart. This is an emergency, and it's an emergency on the human race. Now, this is already nearly about to be a 15-minute video. That means I've done this for half an hour now. I will be doing a lot more lives discussing this on Instagram, so please do contact me on there at draylove, as you can see here. Now, this is very, very important to us. We need to go back to when we had Black Wall Street in Tulsa, and we need to start talking about the fact that they created an absolute massacre. You cannot do that now. It's time for us to rise up, and we will definitely rise again. 100%. This has been the Love Diaries. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope if you think that it's conspiracy, you go and check out my theories yourself. And if there's any questions or anything you'd like me to discuss, follow or go into more detail, please do drop me a comment. And love and light blessings to all. and stay strong. Black power, all lives, black lives, white lives, brown lives matter. This is a world peace, world unity situation, but we will come for our retribution. Mwah. Love ya.